Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Disney Pin Pursuit. My name is Alyssa, and today I'm going to show you guys a bunch of pin trading I've been doing through the mail and online. I have been trading a lot the last couple of weeks, and I've made some pretty big trades, and I want to kind of share that experience with you guys, show you what I traded for what. Hopefully I can figure out how to put the pictures of my old pins that I traded for these pins up on video. We'll see how that works. And then kind of just go through who I traded with, where I was able to find people to trade with, and just kind of the different tips and things that I found throughout this whole experience, because it's the first time I traded through PinPix, and it's the first time I did a lot of bulk trading online instead of just like purchasing pins from people on Facebook. So before I start though, I want to give a huge shout out to someone who I traded with. If you guys have been watching my channel for a minute, I have only been collecting and I've only been collecting for a little less than a year, and then I've only been really pin trading for like the last 6 months or so. And if you're new to pin trading, there's a lot to learn about pin value, pin quality, different places you can buy pins, and then pin authenticity and how to figure out if a pin is fake or not. When I first started, I figured from some of the videos that I've seen of people trading in parks with like the park pin boards, that fakes were really easy to spot. And once I figured out kind of like the main tips and different things that you can spot in a fake pin, like the enamel and the edges and the backs and stuff, I thought I had it pretty much figured out. What I didn't realize that I've learned through this whole experience is some of the fakes are getting really good. So there's been pins that I've had that looked real to me. The enamel looked really good. The backs looked really crisp and clear. The thickness of them seemed fine to me. And it was just teeny tiny little minor details, like where the pin post was located on the pin, or slight variations, not even like one has blue eyes and one has green eyes, but like slight variations in like the tones of colors and things like that. That pin fakers are just getting really good at copying now. So I did make a trade with someone, kind of a bulk trade of my pins for a few of theirs. And we sent pictures to each other, the fronts and the backs. Everything looked good on both of our ends. And when he got my pins in the mail, he realized that 2 of them were really high quality fakes. And he was more than happy to like explain to me the differences of the pins, and he like understood that I was brand new to pin trading. He's actually one of the first people that started watching my videos, so he knows just how new I am, and he was very understanding, and he wouldn't let me send him more of my pins to make up for it. So I'm going to give him a shout out on this video. So he makes pin trading videos through Walt Disney World. So go follow him. He's at Orlando Bound, and his videos are amazing. He goes through all the pin boards and shows you exactly where they're at and stuff. And he posts videos all the time on like different resorts and everything. So go subscribe to his channel, watch his videos. They're great. And if you ever end up trading with him, he's a gem of a human. So thank you, Orlando Bound, for helping me figure out how to spot some of the nicer fake pins, and for trading with me. It was one of my favorite trading experiences, so thank you very much. But yeah, so I am gonna go through. I've done lots of trades. I actually have notes, which I've never done for a video before, because I made 10 separate trades in the last few weeks, all with different people through either PinPix or Facebook. So I wanted to go through them with you, and I focused all of my trading on pins that I wanted for my personal collection. So I have adapted my personal collections to attractions mainly, and like pins that have some sort of memory for me. But I want to collect Big Thunder, as you guys all know, and then Matterhorn and Space Mountain pins. Focusing, well, I guess I wanted to focus on Disneyland, the Disneyland Resort pins first, but I'm not like really leaning on that too hard. But anyway, so that's what I focused on. I focused on Space, Matterhorn, and Big Thunder. And the two collections that I'm really trying to complete, which is the Bicoastal series and the Paris Big Feet series. So those are the people that I reached out to. So PinPix is great. You can go on there. I highly recommend, especially if you've got like some bigger traders. So like I put on like that Most Magical Place on Earth Jumbo on there. Anything big that you're wanting to trade, make a profile on PinPix. It's completely free. Like, search for the pins. You can either say that you own it, you want it, and if you own it, you want to trade it or not. Put those up there. Activate the trade assist, which is also free. You don't have to pay a subscription or anything for that. And then search for pins that you want. When you find one that you want in the pin database on there, you just click on that. There's a little button that says what pin can I trade for this. Click on that and it will show you everybody who owns the pin that you're looking for, and if they want any of the pins that you have marked as a trader on your list of pins in your database. And then from there you can message them, and it will actually say, hey, I have this pin, I want to trade you for this pin, and you can add your own message in there. So there's a lot of people that they had a pin that I really wanted, but the pin that they wanted was lower value than mine. So I wrote them a message, sent them pictures of other pins that I had that were, because I went to like their pin database and looked and see if they had any pins that I had for trade, and then sent them pictures of the other pins that they had or that they wanted, and then offered them that trade, so that I was trading equal value at that point. So it's a really good system. It's really easy to use. And there's a lot of people. So I would say at least half of the people that I messaged responded right away. The other half of people I'm sure aren't, doing this all of the time. So I didn't get responses from some people, but I did hear from like some of the Facebook groups that that's the case, because not a lot of people check their PinPix account very often. But yeah, so it's actually really fun to use. I think I sent like half of my messages within like the first night that I looked at it, because it's just really easy to look at everything and send people messages and offer trades. So and I didn't have a bad experience with anyone. So even the people that I sent trade offers to that didn't want to trade with me and responded, it was super simple as, well, I'm looking at trading this pin for something that's a similar LE edition size. And even though I had technically the monetary value is equal, the edition side wasn't. And so everyone was like totally understandable. I had one person that was amazing that I wanted several of their pins, and a couple of my pins she just wanted more of what I had, and her pin value was a little different than what I had. And she was amazing and graciously like looked through all of the pins that were on my database, and like we went back and forth on messages and worked out a trade together. So it was just a great experience overall. But yeah, so with that giant explanation at the very beginning, let's look at some pins. So I have one of my big Pinfolio boards full of pins. And I'm just kind of going to go through all of them. Hopefully you guys can see them all. I'm going to try to get up close video of them. Yeah. I will figure that out. But yeah, so I'm going to try to get you guys up close so you can see all the pins and see the detail. But anyway, so these first two, I traded the new space pin from the Vault collection that comes in that, I think it's like a 5-pack of pins, which I only wanted the space one. And then this Big Thunder Chip 'n Dale pin where the pickaxe, kind of goes back and forth. I'll give you guys an up close of those. But yeah, so I traded these for my Mulan Pink a la Mode crest pin. And hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to do the pictures, and I will show you the pin that I traded for them. But yeah, so this was one of the first trades that I made, and I was super excited to get this space pin because they are like reselling for crazy right now. So that was fun. Then my next trade was this large lot of pins on this other side. Well, large. It feels large because I don't do a bunch of trades very often. So I got the carousel pin, these kind of matching Big Thunder and Matterhorn pins, the original pins down there for Matterhorn and Space, as well as this Big Thunder one. I traded all of those for, I had a Cheshire Wreath pin, the Stitch mystery box from, I think, the Fantasyland mystery box set, where he's riding Matterhorn, and then my Palm Mickey Ghost pin, it's a newer pin, and then my Snow White Jumbo from Palm as well, from Pink a la Mode too. So that was the big trade that I was able to like talk with her and work it all out. So that was a really successful trade. That was fun. Then I don't know if you've noticed, but I did get a duplicate. I actually sent the trade message to both of these people the same night, and really wanted this Space Carousel pin. So I have a duplicate that I traded for my Pocahontas Fairy Tale Moments pin, but I really want, they're going to come out with a Big Thunder carousel pin, and I want that one, and it sounds like it might be a Walt Disney World release possibly, and not a Disneyland one. So I'm hoping that someone will want to trade me the Space Carousel pin for that one. We'll see. Then I was so stoked to get the Space Mountain window from this year's series. So that one is a pin that's valued right now at like $100. So I ended up trading that one through Facebook for I had the Stitch and Pooh supporting cast pins, and then I also had an extra of my Disneyland Resort Mickey pin trading jumbo pin that came out earlier this year. But when I got it, it had like a factory flaw where one of the rivets that connected Mickey, because it's pin on pin, so it connected Mickey to the pin board, was missing. So Mickey kind of swings around a little bit. So I was trading that one at like half value, because I just felt like that was the most fair, because it was brand new pin still in the box, but just missing that rivet. So I traded those three for the Space Mountain window. Then I was so excited. You guys, I am one pin away from completing the Bicoastal series, and I cannot wait to get it. It's been elusive, but hopefully I can find it soon. I'm going to an in-person pin trading event at the end of this month here in Washington, and so I'm kind of hoping it will be there. But I was able to get the Haunted Mansion Bicoastal pin. I traded that pin for my Steamboat Willie Fairy Tale Moments, and then I also got the Buzz Lightyear Bicoastal pin and traded that one for a Dodger. Dodger and Oliver came, I think, in like a open edition pin card, the two pins there. So I traded for Dodger, and I had this really cool pin on pin of the Muses from Hercules as like the statues in one of the first songs of the movie. So I traded those two for the Buzz Bicoastal. And then there's so many, you guys, it's crazy. I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm also trying not to make this video like an hour long, so we'll see. This next one that I traded for, so they had a different pin than I wanted. I can't remember now what it was. but they had another pin that I wanted. They ended up trying to find that pin, and they had already sold or traded it to somebody else. So I went through, and they said, you know, my eBay store is actually more up to date than my PinPix account. Go to the eBay store and see if there's anything there you'd want to trade for it. There was nothing I wanted to trade for the original Dumbo pin. I think it was like the Dumbo 100 years pin, so that pin's value is on the higher end, at least for the pins that I have. But they had some of these really cool fantasy pins, and you know, if you want to trade your real Disney pins for fantasy pins, go for it. Fantasy, whatever. They're not tradable in the parks. But some fantasy pins are really cool. And my 3-year-old's obsessed with cars. I'm pretty sure his sister is going to be the same way. And so I've kind of been slightly collecting more and more Cars pins. And they had this little Golden Books fantasy pin, jumbo fantasy pin of the Cars 3 Golden Book, and we had just bought it for him. So I traded the Dumbo Grapes pin that I had for this jumbo fantasy Golden Books Cars 3 pin. So I'm super excited for that one. That one's really cool. It's gonna look really good on my Cars board. I'm gonna make a Cars board. And my kid is obsessed with it. So that was a really fun trade. And then the last one I have on this side of the board is this stained glass Matterhorn pin. Look at my notes. And I traded it for my Pink on the Mode Rapunzel Pearls pin, which is kind of like an oval shaped pin. Hopefully I'll be able to post the pictures and figure out how to do that. But this, let's get it in frame here. But yeah, this stained glass Matterhorn pin is really cool. So the stained glass portion on the outside shows the mountain itself. And then when you open it, it's got Daisy on the inside riding the bobsled with the Yeti in the background, reaching out for us. So that was a really fun pin to find. There's, I think, a space one of this too, and I really want to find that one too, but wasn't able to find anybody that had it for trade still. Okay. My two last trades that I did were big ones. So the first one I did, I traded my the Sorcerer Mickey Most Magical Moments Jumbo. I found someone who I was trying to trade for their Matterhorn window from this year's series for something else, and they were saving the Matterhorn window to try to trade for a different window from the series that hadn't come out yet. So I was like, okay, you know, whatever. And then I was curious to see if this person also was trying to find the jumbo that I had, and they were. So what I did is I really wanted the Matterhorn window. Honestly, even if I trade a jumbo pin for several other pins, especially this jumbo that's like, it's valued at like $250, I think it was what I put my trade value at, $2 or $250. And if I trade for a few larger, like medium value pins, I can still trade those for other things that I want, especially for the collections that I'm trying to do now. There's a lot of like older pins that I'm trying to get and more rare pins that I'm trying to get for Big Thunder. So as long as I don't go to like, you know, 20, 30 Munchlings, I'm down to trade for whatever. As long as it's equal value, and I think that I can trade those pins for something else that I want later on. So I reached out to him again, and I went through his PinPix database and looked at the other pins that he had on there and searched like, you know, popular characters, and looked at like the first couple pages because I order them by release date. So I looked at like the first couple of pages and looked at, because you can look at just the ones they have listed for trade, and picked a few of them on there, whatever, kind of gathered a few of the pins that he had up, and until they equaled the value of the jumbo that I had, and sent him another message, and he agreed to do that trade. So I was able to get all of these pins here. So I got this fairy tale book. Is this the right one? This fairy tale book palm pin of Sorcerer Mickey. And then I got the railroad carousel. I got my, oh wait, I am going backwards, aren't I? Okay, Sorcerer Mickey, railroad carousel, the Matterhorn window. And then I also got, I love this Dumbo pin, if I'm touching the right one. I'm keeping this for my collection. And then I also got this Mater coin, which when I first saw it, when it got released, I loved it. Now that I have it, I'm not like, I mean, it's cool. It's Mater. It's not like my favorite Cars pin ever. So I might just keep that in my book as a trader. And if something comes along that I'm willing to trade it for, I will. But I think what I'm going to pair my Dumbo board down to is Dumbo in baths. Because these pins are freaking cute. And they're the cutest Dumbo pins ever. So I think I'm going to like only collect Dumbo in bathtubs. Or like in his little barrel bubble bath or whatever. They're so cute. So that trade was super fun and awesome. Shipping the jumbo in the box was terrifying. I'll talk about that later. I've got some tips for shipping things. But yeah, that was a little nuts. But yeah, that trade was super fun, and that he was totally willing to do that. And I got my Matterhorn window, which is going to be my centerpiece for all for my Space, my Big Thunder, and my Matterhorn boards. So I'm super excited for that. So I no longer have my giant jumbo that I was somehow able to get my hands on, but pretty stoked for the trade that I got for it. And then my last trade was the trade I made with Orlando Bound. So I traded, I think 9 of kind of my smaller pins, mystery box pins, Paris pins, open edition pins. Unfortunately, a couple that weren't real. But that the two of us worked that out, and traded with Orlando Bound for the Hatbox Magical Moments or Most Magical Place on Earth pins, whatever. And then one of the new Castle Cupcakes from Wave B, I think, for this year's Hidden Mickey sets, as well as the 25 Years Pocahontas mini jumbo. And he was gracious enough to send me the one that he still had in the original box. So that's cool. I haven't decided this pin is freaking beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see like the glitter in the leaves and all of the detail of this pin. But it's so pretty, and I have been tempted to collect Pocahontas a couple times. I might keep it. I might not, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so those are the 10 giant trades that I've made in the last couple of weeks, all through the mail, all through either PinPix or Facebook. It's been super fun. I actually was kind of tired after making all of them and packaging all of them and shipping all of them. And so I've never had my pin trading this is such a gross analogy, I think, but I can't think of a better one. But it scratched my pin trading itch for sure. So I was obsessing for forever and made all these trades, and I've been content with what I've got for now and able to just sit back and chill until I go to this in-person pin trading event at the end of the month. So it was really fun. Everybody was super fun to trade with. And yeah, so packaging. Keep all the bubble wrap you get. This is how much bubble wrap I got from all of the trades that I did that came in the mail. Keeping all of it. I used probably half of the bubble wrap that I had saved to ship all of these pins. And then what I do is I know if you've seen it before, I did another pin trading video where I showed you kind of the packaging process that I did. I got these I think they're 4x6 envelopes, bubble mailers, and then also, what are they? They're probably 7x10 or whatever the next largest envelope size is. And then I was writing my labels on just plain white paper and then taping them to the packages, because I got black packages because they were the cheapest ones. And then the postal worker at the post office handed me a silver Sharpie, and then I remember that silver Sharpies exist. So I started writing the addresses on silver Sharpie instead of like taping the crap out of this tiny little bag with this paper makeshift label on it. But then when I came in with a couple of them, she asked me if I had like made labels for them or like pre-registered them. I can't remember what it's called now, but through USPS you can go to their website, and this is all, people might know this exists, but I did not. So you can go through USPS's website and you can put in all the information for your package, your address, their address and name, how much insurance you want on it, you know, what level of shipping you want to pay for, if you need a box when you get there, so you can just come in with, you know, your pins wrapped in bubble wrap and then grab a box and you get there and put them in the box, seal it all up, and then they'll have the label for you. The only thing you're gonna need is like a food scale, a small food scale if you have one, to weigh it, because you have to put the weight in on there obviously to calculate shipping. So I started doing that, and it was great because they just email you QR code, they scan your QR code, you don't have to pre-label anything, and they just print the labels out and slap on the package and you're good to go. So that made the last few trays I did really convenient. For shipping, I was terrified to ship that jumbo pin because I was shipping it in a box, right? So I had it in a box, and I didn't realize how particular people were on the packaging of the pins themselves. Not like packaging for mailing, but like the boxes they come in or the backer cards they come on. So I didn't want the box to have any damages when it got to this person. So I wrapped it in too much bubble wrap, so much bubble wrap. I figured that a medium-sized box would be big enough to fit this pin plus the bubble wrap in. It was not the right size. So I asked the postal worker what I should do with it. She asked if it needed to be in a box. I said no, and then immediately regretted it because she put it in one of those like cardboard envelopes, and I like stressed about it for the 4 days it took to get to this person, and was so worried that it was gonna be dented and damaged. The pin was gonna be fine, but I was worried about the box. They like reached out to me when they got it, said that it was amazing packaging. It came in like perfect condition, had a great experience. So luckily it worked out. But the other suggestion that I have that I've started doing is I've started taking my like smaller Amazon boxes that I get and breaking them down and storing them, so that if I have another large tray to do, I can package them in my own box. And then that way, at least I will know that they fit in the box that I'm putting them in. And then I'll end up just weighing the box itself for creating the label. But anyway, just some things that I've learned. Another tip that I have, keep all of your backer cards. I wanted to make this trade with this person so badly. Honestly, I don't even remember what pin it was. I think it was for one of the older like poster pins. Or no, I think it was for one of the 2022 posters from that series. I think it was 2022 for the Space Disneyland poster. And I wanted to trade them for this pin. Which one was it? It was one of my Figment mini jumbos that I have, or the only Figment mini jumbo that I have. And for that pin, I didn't keep the original packaging when I got it. Because I was like, oh, I'm never going to get rid of this. I want a Figment board. And then I changed my mind, and now I don't want a Figment board. So even though like I probably will never trade away my bicoastal pins, I am keeping all of my backer cards now, and I will figure out a place to put them. I don't know where. My house is tiny and it's already overflowing, but I will figure out a place to put them, because that way, if someone wants to trade me for one of my bicoastal pins and I decide that I am good with trading them away and they want the backer card, I can pull out a backer card and put the pin on the backer card, and then they will be more willing to trade for that pin. So keep your backer cards, figure out a place to put them. I think I'm just gonna shove them in the same box that I keep my bubble wrap in and see how that works. The other tip that I have is when you send, because you should be, if you're trading with people, especially not in person, you're doing it virtually, you want to get pictures of the pins that you are receiving, like, because when you go through pin picks, it's not people posting pictures of their pins, it's people saying, here is this stock photo of the pin that I currently own and want to trade, and you don't know what the actual pin that they have looks like, what condition it's in, you know, whatever. And I mean, just like with the experience that I had with Orlando Bound, a couple of my pins looked authentic to me, to him, even through pictures, and then when he got them, realized that they were just really good fakes. So get pictures of your pins. When you take pictures of your pins, try to use, I put all of mine on like a mini pinfolio board, and that way you can get, you know, a nice clean picture. You can hold them really well. They're not going to slide all over the place. You can get them in the right light to show people the enamel surface and everything. And then you can flip them over and get really good pictures of the back too. And then that's why I've also kind of held on to my bigger pinfolio boards too, because I was able, when I was doing larger trades, I was able to put a bunch of pins on one board, show them all at the same time, and then that way I'm not having to send them a bunch of different pictures, and they can see all the pins together and in comparison to each other. So get some of these. They're not that expensive, especially if you don't care about the color. And a lot of people on Facebook actually try to trade these for pins or sell them too, used, so you can get them at a little bit of a discount. And then all of mine, I got the little plastic sleeve that zips up and goes around them, because I was using these when I went to Disneyland for pin trading on the boards there. Yeah, so that's my tips. Anyway, to bring this video to a close, those were the trades I made. I'm super excited to get them all up on my board. They've been sitting here for a hot minute because the school year has started, so I am now a single stay-at-home, or single parent stay-at-home mom during the day while my husband goes to work because he's a teacher. I'm teaching too, but I won't be able to sub until probably January because my sister-in-law watches my kids and she's having a baby. So, but yeah, so my life's gotten a little crazy and a little busy in the last couple of weeks. So I was super excited to be able to sit down and film this video for you guys and chat with everybody and like really get back into looking at the pins that I traded for, because I've been ignoring them because all I want to do is reorganize my boards and put them all up. So thank you for being here with me and making it this far. If you have, this brings me so much joy, and I love doing it so much. And I really appreciate you guys being here, because every new like, comment, subscriber that I get just gives me more fuel to keep going. And I've had some experiences lately with a couple different people where I'm kind of like, maybe if I keep going long enough, I could go to Disneyland and film videos for you guys there, and I don't know, make some money, and maybe make enough money to do mystery pin pack videos and, you know, basically fuel this cool new YouTube hobby that I've decided to embark on. So we'll see. But yeah, anyway, it's been a wild ride. It's been fun. All of you guys are great. Again, check out Orlando Bound's videos. He's great. They're great videos to watch with your family. Look for pin boards, kind of figure out where they're all at. So if you're ever going to go to Walt Disney World and you're not sure where they're all at, because there's a million of them, he goes to resorts and the parks. So really good videos over there. Check him out. Subscribe to his channel. And I want to know what you guys have for tips on trading. So comment on this video. Let me know kind of what some of your tips are for trading with people. I know that I went through, the other thing I was going to say, actually, on that note, when I was doing pin picks and trying to figure out value of trades, I basically would just look up my pins versus their pins on eBay and sold listings and just did it that way. So I just put together the best trade that I could figure out where it was even on both ends. And then if they counteracted with something else, then, you know, I kind of decided for my own if it was fair or not fair. And there were a couple trades that I think I probably traded a slightly higher bundle value of pins for what I got, but they were pins that personally I was totally okay with getting rid of. So, and trading for pins that I really, really wanted. So anyway, so yeah, so what tips do you guys have, especially for trading in person at events? Because I've only been to one. I'm going to my second one at the end of the month. I'm not a social person, especially around a bunch of people that I don't know, and I'm going to be alone. So if you have any tips for me, please let me know, because it will only be my second event and I want to like rock out some good trades, and I don't know, maybe like make a friend or something in the pin trading world would be fun, especially since it's a local pin event and I don't know, they might live around here. So that would be cool. But yeah, and if you like this video, you want to see some more of my stuff, like this video, comment, subscribe, share them with your friends, and I am going to be making a video on reorganizing all of my boards again because my collection is about to get flipped on its head, from what you guys have seen on my wall before. So stay tuned for that one. Again, thank you guys so much. Love y'all. Bye.